Hey everyone, this is Shubham and welcome to your SQL tutorial. So again, in this video, we're gonna carry on from the part where we have left. Right. So where we have left is like we had created this table, we had put on some values, and we have seen okay, few of the one or two of the queries. So we were into insert, right? So suppose you need to enter multiple data into it. Suppose you need to enter 3 data, right? If you're going to enter 3 data, you cannot just go ahead and write insert into employee, insert into employee, insert into employee. There has to be one way where it is optimized, and you can just write insert into employee into these columns you have, and you want to add these values. So in one query, you want to through one query you want to handle or send multiple data, right? So there has to be one way of that. So again, I have refreshed the page, so I'm going to execute this query. So now executing this query, it's like it's saying, okay, so everything has got run, okay? Everything's been run on this page. It's not like SQL developer. So if I'm gonna click on execute, so it will execute that same thing. So suppose there is just one data into it. So if I'm gonna do, if I'm clearing this, so there's just one data, right? Again, it's running everything. So I'm just gonna, for meanwhile, though we have already seen this, I'm gonna delete this certain part, and I'm gonna say, hey, so I'm gonna comment out this as well for now. So I'm gonna say, hey, so there's just one, so twice, because it has run twice, so it has twice of the same data. So what I'm gonna do is like I'm gonna write one query where through which we can enter multiple data, the multiple entries into the table, through which we can enter multiple rows into table at once. So how are you gonna do that? Is very simple. Very super simple. Okay, so what you're gonna do is gonna write the same thing, insert into the table net employee. So insert into employee is the same thing. Then post that you need to enter the column name. So if you remember what column name we have given, again, I'm going to do command that. So you remember, so we have employee ID, employee name, employee location. So I'm not going to delete it. I'm going to just comment it out that you people will remember it. I'm going to comment out this as well. And then I'm going to write. So right now we have these two data, right? So I'm going to enter some different data. Oh, sorry, not there, over here. I'm going to say insert into employee, and what we are trying to enter and where we are trying to enter in employees column, right? So there are 3 columns we had: employee ID, employee name, employee location. So I'm going to say employee ID and employee name and employee location. In these 3 columns, you send values. Okay. So what values you're gonna send? We have to send some different values for the sake of it, right? So let's say 2 comma sample1 city I would call as Chennai. Then again, you need to just have a comma over here. Then you're gonna say the value third sample2. The city is gonna be Hyderabad. Then I'm gonna have the comma again. Suppose I'm gonna enter a value, one more entry, right? So I'm gonna say value 4 sample3, and the other city, okay, sorry, yeah, so other city I would call as Mumbai, right? So this seems pretty fine. Now let's try to run this query and see whether that works as we have expected or not. Okay, again over here, not dot, it should be comma. So we have the exact same column name. Yeah, seems like fine. And let's just run it, execute it. So if we are executing, it says no such column as Chennai. All right, yeah, we don't have down comma over here, as we have taken it as a varchar, right? So yeah, if you see over here, when we executed these 2 commands, okay, ideally I should have commented this as well because it has got executed with this. My mistake, but yeah, so now we have 5 data, 5 records, right? So we have 5 records, and in so first record we had by executing the queries 2 times, and then insert into values, insert into employee values. Okay, and this one we've got with the one query. You can enter multiple entries into same table, into their corresponding or respective columns, right? So this is the way you can insert data. Now let's comment out this. and let's go to something different. So yeah, let's talk about alter table. Okay, so we have started to select, we have started to create DDL, like DDL, DML, TCL, these and all we have learned the first lesson, right? Now we're gonna go in more practical way and we're gonna have some queries. So suppose I'm gonna have a query, I'm gonna ask um, what it could be. It could be anything, right? So I would say, hey, how many employees are there who belongs to Bangalore city? So there are two from Bangalore, one from Chennai, one from Hyderabad, one from Mumbai. So you say like, okay, Bangalore should be two, Chennai should be one, Hyderabad should be one, Mumbai should be one. So what you're gonna do is just gonna, we have this query, right? So we're gonna say select count star, right? So from employee, where wherever what, wherever employee location, wherever employee. So we're just gonna copy it from here. So let's see how many record fetches us. Yes, I'm gonna execute that. It says two. So we have, if you remember, I'll side by side take that also, so you have the visibility from it. So suppose this kind of question has been asked in your interview exams, you can just directly say, okay, this is your table. And suppose it could be any table. It could be a table where they'll ask, okay, I can send you thousands of data. It can be in your workplace as well. So you just need to say, okay, so from Bangalore, we have two employees only. So suppose I'm gonna change it to Chennai, right? So it should come as one, right? Let's execute it again. So yeah, the value is one. Okay, I will comment it so you'll see very clearly as well. So value is one. If I'm gonna go with, okay, so what and all value were there? So next was, I guess, Hyderabad, right? So I'm gonna just comment it again. I'm gonna copy Hyderabad from here, and it should be giving it as one, right? Suppose, yeah. So this is how you can find out if suppose this is the kind of question that's been given to you. Another thing, so we have seen these two queries. Like suppose I wanna, yeah. So suppose I would have created a, or suppose let's talk about unique constant. Okay, unique and primary. These two are super important thing when it comes to SQL. So what is unique constants? So if you're gonna go with bookish knowledge, or I would say if you go by word itself, so unique something is like you cannot enter, you cannot have it in like duplicated or redundant value, redundant data of it, right? So unique constants ensure that all values in a column are different, like there is no similar values, right? So you can create a table with unique as well. So I'm gonna copy this. So I'm gonna create another table for it and I'll show you. Okay, first I'll comment it out. So I'm just doing this practical for you guys, and suppose I'm gonna create a table called employee one, and here I'm gonna take ID as unique. Okay, so I'm gonna just append it with unique keyword. So now, okay, so spelling is wrong. Yeah, so with unique keyword, so I have appended as the unique keyword. So now we have this create table employee one. So employee one is new table is gonna get created. I'm gonna clear this out, right? And post that, let's create it once. Okay, let's run it, what do you say, let's run it like at once and we'll see the error. Okay, and then I'm gonna copy this command. Okay, so where we can enter multiple entries into our table at once. Now over here, if you see, I've entered like, okay, so let's change it to one, okay, two and three. Suppose we are entering three data. Okay, and it should suppose you're in any organization or in any school or college you've been working on, you've been studying in, you must be seeing, right, the roll numbers if you're at school and college, and if employee IDs if you're working in an organization, it has to be unique, right? So what if like you're working as an organization DBA, and if you're gonna give it, so this particular column of that particular table should be unique, right? If you are keeping a data, if you are keeping a record, right? So that is how this unique keyword comes into the picture. Suppose I'm there are three employees which works for me, and then I have taken, though I'm entering the value as 1 2 3, this is a unique value, but suppose some new DBA comes up and he just messes it up, right? For that, you can just assign with this unique keyword to that particular ID, and it will ensure that you won't create a duplicated values. So suppose let's just see an example now. So 1, 2, 3 are given different value, right? Instead, I'll give same value 1, 1, and 3. So if you see employee ID now is there are two places it is same, and now I'll just execute it. All right, and let's see the results. Yeah. Okay, so employee 1 already exists. It says wait. Okay, it says employee because it has already been created now. Okay, yeah. So I am entering an employee. That shouldn't be the case. So I need to enter an employee 1. Now you'll see what is the issue. So now I'm gonna comment it because if I'm gonna run it twice, it says employee is already exist. So yeah, I've just done that, and now I'll run it. Okay, let's see. In employee 1, the table which has already been created has a column which has unique which has got unique kind of property that should not hold the value which is duplicated. Will it allow to execute this query or not? My answer is no. See, unique constants failed for employee 1, that is our table, and for the column employee ID. That means it's trying to convey to us that you have duplicated value. Now, if I'm going to give it same like different values, now what it's going to do is see. Now it will successfully get executed. See, now it will just write select star from your employee 1, right? Yeah. So now I'm gonna comment this out and I'm gonna run it. Now you'll see it has the value, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you've been trying to enter multiple data into employees table, but if you have this thing as unique, any of the column as unique characteristics, it won't allow you to do the same, right? So that is about unique. There is one more is primary key as well. We'll learn into the next lecture. So one by one. So unique is important. That's how you can even okay. So now what? Let's try to alter our table. Okay, to alter our table, what we're gonna do is like suppose okay, so this employee table, or let's alter our table, which is okay, let's alter employee table instead of employee 1. So I'm gonna say alter. So alter what? You're altering your table. Which table you're on altering is employee. And what are you gonna alter in that? So suppose I wanna add a column over there, or I'm gonna delete. You can do anything. Add or so there are drop. Okay, so first let's try to add. So I'm gonna add. What I'm trying to add? I'm trying to add okay, so there's salaries, emp salary. Where I'm trying to add in yeah, so how like what kind of data type I'm gonna say is like varchar only. So yeah, let's just execute it. Yeah, so I've added that. Now I have to enter some data into it, right? So I'm gonna just comment it out. I'm gonna uncomment. Let's uncomment this one command line, and over here I'm gonna say this is the value 4. And now with the one like the next value which I am trying to enter, I'm gonna enter one more value over here. So ideally, if I do not have the extra column, it should be giving me error. But as you see, I have already altered the table and I added one more employee salary to it. So it should allow us. First, we'll see in individual, and then we'll see in like multiple entries way. So individual query, let's execute. So individual I have executed, and now I'll just comment this out because it's giving. So yeah, individual query I have executed. Now I'll give the query select star from employee, right? So now individual query has been executed. I'll comment this out. I'm gonna run this and let's see. So you see multiple entries we have already entered here. So in the last, if you see, you'll see 500 has been added, right? So yeah, this is what I was talking about. So if so you can enter. So whatever. See again. Though I have added a column over there, that column is having the values in like salary. So you can just keep on adding salary. So this is the way you can enter your whole table, alter your whole table as well. So yeah, that's one thing. And suppose you wanna. So this is one way to enter. Again, you can this is the one way to enter the newer columns data into it, and the older way again you know already. So I'm just gonna comment this out. So what do you need to do? You just need to add a comma over here, and uh, then add the column name, and then yeah. So suppose I'll enter like unique value. So I'll say, hey, so anything is fine. So over here itself, suppose I'll add 100. Okay, 100, and then I'll add 200. I'll add 300. Though ID would be same, that is why you're seeing same IDs. But suppose I'm gonna do this insert. Insert is done. Now if you comment and see it, you'll see that is added like 500, 100, 200, 300. So this is how you can alter your table as well. Now suppose you have altered